good show tonight. Keep yourselves up. Keep going. All right. I want you guys to give it up for the very funny Samantha Haack.
Sean and I coordinated our outfits for tonight. So I'm at the point in my life where it's just easier to agree with people when they assume I'm depressed than try to convince them I choose to live this way. I am 30 years old and single, living in a studio apartment and working 2 jobs to pay my bills, but I am still the most successful person in my family. So I've been single almost 4 years. My last relationship was long distance, and I feel like I should have known it wasn't going to work by how much I enjoyed not having him around. The last time I was in a healthy relationship was the time someone mistook my sister and I for lesbians. And I get that he was trying to be hurtful when he called us dykes, but my sister's really pretty. So if you're gonna think I can get with someone like that, I'm just gonna let you. She is way out of my league. I don't look like my family, and I think that adds to the confusion. When I was a kid, I used to think that I was adopted until I grew up and I realized that they don't let poor people adopt kids. I looked at my family and was like, you know what's gonna solve all their problems? Another baby! Both of my sisters are older than me, and my mom, or I used to say that my parents stopped having kids when they got the one that they wanted. And it's funny because there's no way they wanted any of us. I did go to visit my parents recently. My self-esteem was just too high. I had to bring it down a notch. I feel like I learn something new about my parents every time I visit them. Right now they're super into shows about murder, and they love this show about spouses who kill each other. I don't know if I should be concerned or just start taking sides. My dad doesn't stand a chance. And he knows that I tell this joke, so part of me's a little afraid that he's just going to kill my mom to prove us all wrong. I can't do it. I was diagnosed with ADHD last year. It was hard for me at first, but I'm working on learning to accept it as part of who I am and blame other people for my faults. It's like, I know that I just text you 10 times at 6 o'clock in the morning. But that's your fault. You should know better than to be asleep while I'm awake. Girls are statistically underdiagnosed for ADHD because they manifest their symptoms differently than boys do. A boy will run around and be very outward, where I will look you straight in the eye and not pay attention to a word you're saying. Because you see, you mentioned Milwaukee, which made me think of the last time I was there over the summer, and I saw that movie Baby Driver, which was a lot like that movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, which I also saw in the theater, and that was with my ex-boyfriend, who now lives in Minnesota. Oh, I'll be in Minnesota for my friend's wedding. I really need to get her a present. I'm sorry, what were you saying? So they put me on medication. So side effects are really fun. Side effects are like if you look at the back of a cereal box for all the prizes and you wonder which one you're gonna get. But it's a trick question because you get them all. I even get the really special ones that aren't listed on the box. I got a facial twitch from my last medication, and the best part was it happened at work. So I couldn't control the movement of my mouth. I just had to move it around constantly. And I was like, okay, we can work with this. Maybe if I just talk really slowly and concentrate, I can control, no, this isn't working. Maybe if I just talk really, really fast, then I'll finish talking sooner and then no one will know that's happening. That's not working out either. All right, this is just who I am now. This is and the best part of that story is that when I called my doctor to tell him it was happening, he's like, "Stop immediately. That might be permanent." Yay! So I went in to see him for the next appointment, and I love my doctor. He's the perfect doctor for me because he walks in the door and he looks at me and goes, "How are you doing?" "Oh, that's right, terrible. That's why you're here." But I've been on a bunch of medication, and I asked him the really, I think, obvious question to me is, what happens if I run out of medication if none of these work? And he goes, "We'll have to send you to a specialist because your problems are too difficult for me to solve." And I was like, "Me too, bro, me too." All right, that's all I got for tonight. I just want to